Hello friends, it's me, Yusuf. It's Monday the 30th of September 2024. Tomorrow we start the last quarter of the year and I've set myself a goal of getting onto YouTube. So this is my first video. I actually started to record daily videos before I left for Italy, maybe at the beginning of September. I was doing it every day, more or less, for 2 weeks, I think. But I didn't even get them off my camera and I didn't obviously post them. Part of the reason was, in fact, the only reason that stopped me was this urge that I had to start things anew. You may have seen me around on the internet. If you have, then you know that I'm a leather craftsman and I have a brand called Yusico, and that is the same name that I have on Instagram and also on TikTok. And of course, if you don't know me, well, that's a little bit about me. And that is something that I have been building since 2016. That's when I hopped onto Instagram, and I've been leatherworking since November 2014, so coming up to 10 years. But around 2 years ago, in September 2022, I had a really difficult time. I had a breakdown. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but it wasn't a good time for me, and that's how it stayed for many months. I went travelling for a lot of last year, and then at the end of last year I went to Mexico for 3 months for many reasons that I will elaborate on as we go through these videos. But I returned in March or April of this year, 2024, and I thought that going away would help things, but all it really did was take me out of the situation, and since returning I have had to deal with the same issues that I left behind. And primarily those issues are around, what do I want to do with myself and my business? Because I have been attempting to make it, whatever that means, as a leather crafts person, and I'm not quite sure that I have. And having a breakdown made me question all of the things and the path and the actions that I was taking to get to exactly where. And I started to question everything. And that's been going on since I got back. So I think it's been around 6 months now. And so one of the reasons why I really wanted to get onto YouTube is to make this long form content so that you can understand a little bit about what I'm going through and what feels like a shift, or at least a change in how I do things. And for me also to work through the things I'm thinking about, because it's really hard to work out these things as I'm by myself. And so every day I'm having these conversations that go this way and they never come out because I don't have anyone else to discuss them with and bounce back any ideas. And so as someone that is a perfectionist and an overthinker, I end up in a terrible tizzle going 100 miles an hour with my thoughts and ideas, and never really getting anywhere and feeling like I'm not taking any meaningful action. So I hope that this will also help me as I navigate this next part of my journey. And I also realise that this is something that happens to me every 10 years. So let's just say around when I was 20, I moved to London to attend the London School of Economics to read law. And for around 10 years, I was training to be a solicitor and I qualified as a solicitor. And then I changed my life drastically. I moved to Malawi. That didn't last very long. And I came back. I ended up working at the London School of Economics, and then not soon long after I discovered leatherwork, so 2014. And now we are 10 years in, and I'm at another inflection point. And although it's something that started 2 years prior, it's been going on this time, and I suppose now I'm at that point where I know that I need to and I want to take action and start to make the changes. There are lots of things that I know I want to change, but what I noticed was that I was waiting for those things to come to me or become apparent to me, and what I realised is that that's not going to necessarily happen. If I want to make any changes, and once I decide on those changes or I have an idea of what those changes are going to be, I need to go out and find that person or those things and make those changes happen. Or at least attempt to, and, well, take action. So I hope that by talking these things out aloud, and of course you're all welcome to give me your thoughts and feedback, that it will help me and also it will help people that are thinking about doing the same thing or on a similar journey or are thinking about starting a similar journey, a creative journey, or are also at an inflection point in their creative journey. And I think that what I'm going through is quite important for me to share, because I've been having private conversations with people over these 2 years, and I've realised that so many of us are going through the same thing, and we are all going through it on our own. And we all think that we're the only people going through it. And in fact, it was last week when I returned from Italy, or actually maybe it was this week, no, last week, because it's Monday. I was speaking to someone here in my studio, and word for word, sentiment for sentiment, feeling for feeling, we were sharing exactly the same woes about our creative practice, our creative journey, and where we're at with it. And that's what made me realise that this is important, because we see a lot of creative people sharing their journeys online, but it's never really the truth or the full picture. And so many creative people also work alone, like myself. And so we're all sharing snippets of what we're doing online, and behind all of that, there's all these other things going on, and all these other concerns and worries and difficulties, and no one is really talking about them. And so we all think that everyone is doing better than they are, and that people are really being successful in their practices or careers, and actually many of us are finding it really difficult. And so I hope that as much as it's useful to me, it's useful to anyone that watches now or in the future. But for me right now, it's just an exercise in sharing and developing myself, and I hope that it also helps other people, and that you can join me on this journey. You can join me as I work through the different options and try to make a success of this path that I have been on for almost a decade. So that's me for today, and I'm going to post this. So if you're watching this, then it will be the 1st of October 2024, and I promise it will be live. That's all for tonight. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.